Hi everyone, today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. My name is Evan and welcome back to another Swing Trade Ideas video. I always like to remind people on these videos that we are recording intraday. So if you do watch this video after hours or after the market is closed, you might see some different prices. Some of these formations might not be exactly as you see here. So once again, keep in mind we are recording this as things are moving right now intraday. We are changing things up this week. We're experimenting with a slightly different format. Instead of the traditional sort of 4 different trade ideas, we're going to get a bit more specific and showcase some different scan results, some price action scan results here. And we're going to walk you through some of the patterns, and we're going to highlight what they're looking for and why they might be interesting for you. 2 of the pieces of feedback or questions or comments we get on these videos are, can we get more trade ideas? Can we get more than just 4? And can we get different patterns, different things, not just consolidations, but can we get some other formations? And I think this is a way we can potentially get some more trade ideas out in our weekly videos here, and also give some different looks. So I'd love to know your feedback. Do you like this new format? Do you like the old format? Just tell me some thoughts here that would be helpful in the comments section. Will certainly inform kind of how we move forward here. But at least for this video and maybe next video, I just want to try and experiment with this new format. So as always, just as before, these videos are sponsored by our friends over at Investors Business Daily. We curate stocks from their stock lists, and you can get access to their stock lists with a link in the description of this video. So what we're looking at here is our main scans here on the left. We're going to switch these scans up almost every week, so we're not always going to be looking at the same scans. It's going to just depend on what's showing that particular day. But so far, we're going to be looking at these 5 here in today's video, and we've compiled our universe here of IBD stock lists and our TR150 watch list. So that is the stock list universe that we are scanning against, and that is always a great idea. Whether you use our lists, IBD's list, or your own, you always want to have these well-vetted long-term leaders. In these cases, they're mostly kind of growth names, relative strength names, uptrend names, and we are scanning for specific price action patterns on those, what I would consider just a quality stock list. So let's jump from the top here. Let's start with our scan up here, 52-week highs on volume. So this is a free scan. All of these scans are available on our website. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but this is a free one. This is 52-week highs on volume. So basically what you're looking for, what this scan is looking for, just new 1-year highs, and it has to be above 50-day average volume. And INSP here, so here's one candidate from the stock list. Again, you can see big ugly kind of tail at the top end here, so not so desirable on its intraday action, but still you're getting a nice breakout here of this range that it's been in, and it is occurring on some heavier volume. And don't forget, we're recording this intraday, so volume's not even finished, and we're starting to get some high volume candidates. So that's one idea. Number 2, which I think this shows up on multiple lists today, is CELH. So basically you've had a nice kind of 4 or 5 days down in a row, and now we're launching higher, above average volume, breaking to new 52-week highs, in this case all-time highs. It's gone very parabolic here, but it's continuing to work and keeping momentum in play. So those are 2 stocks from our first scan. Our second scan is a breakout scan, and this is a scan that is looking for effectively just breakouts, fresh breakouts of at least 10 days or more to the upside. And so PAYC, here's one stock that again I think shows up on multiple lists, but you can see the big launch over this cluster of recent highs. And full disclosure, this is a stock we own right now, so PAYC is a long holding of ours, of our Merlin trading strategy, which we got involved in a few days ago, not for the breakout reason, but for a different reason, different scan. And You can see this is sort of working nicely here today. Heavy volume coming in. It just reported earnings, so this is why we're seeing such a good move here, or a big move in PAYC. So nice breakout getting in motion there. PCTY, so again, this one here kind of clearing above new 10-day highs. You can see it's consolidated a little bit. It's rounding out, heavier volume, and it's starting to work back to the upside after consolidating for several weeks. Number 3 here on this particular scan, CDNA. So again, you can see nice big gap up, large range to the upside, 8% higher, heavy volume coming in, clearing over recent highs, nice new fresh momentum breakout name. Last but not least for this one is CELH. We already talked about it on our first scan. So our third scan now is a pullback scan. This is a one of our most popular scans in our store, but this is basically looking for a few days, at least several days down in a row. It's got a nice uptrend in place, and then it starts to break to the upside. So kind of a classic like bull flag pattern is what you could think of it as. OTRK, again, you can see here a couple of days down in a row, heavy volume, move to the upside here, taking out the prior day's high. Again, nice strong uptrend. So OTRK, pretty nice there. CLH, again, showing up here for the third time in a different scan. With that move to the upside. Our next scan is a tight highs scan. GH here, a little bit sloppy on these tight highs. So again, nothing too interesting here to speak of. It is showing up on the scan. I think CUE is the more interesting one here. So again, you can take a look at the past 10 days or so of very, very tight price action, and just look here at how orderly this $20 resistance is. That's something I'd pay attention to. I think that's interesting. Also why it's showing up here. It's been pulling back, and it certainly could, continue to roll over here, but I do like the prospects here for this to break out to the upside. Last but not least, is we have a bullish engulfing scan here. PAYC showing back up on this one as well. So this one we've already talked about, but basically this is printing a bullish engulfing bar, which means it opened below yesterday's body. It broke above yesterday's top of the body, and now of course you can see where that's gone to. And this scan, obviously this would have kind of triggered here intraday, more like 287 or so before the big move to the upside. So that is 5 different scans there. I do want to talk about 2 others on the weekly time frame. If we look at our pullback scan, our pullback scan that we talked about earlier, if we just scan for it on a weekly basis, you can see NVTA here. Take a look at this, 3 weeks down in a row, and now starting to move to the upside. So you don't have to look at just the small daily patterns. You can look at these longer term patterns. NVTA I think is interesting here, which is showing up EDIT. So again, you've got multiple weeks down in a row, starting to break back up to the upside. RPAY, very similar here. So you've got this big uptrend in place, you've got a pullback, and now you're starting to get going on the upside. And then SURF, once again here, biotech, you can see a nice surge to the upside over past 5-6 months, multiple weeks down in a row, and then breaking out to the upside. That is the pullback strength scan. Last but not least, I want to talk about some bearish ideas here too. It's a good thing about scanning. We don't usually look at them myself, but when we have some objective scans, they're easier to kind of pull and take a look at. First is just PBF is a bearish engulfing scan here. So you can see opened up above prior day's body, currently trading below yesterday's body, so kind of engulfing, and we've got a downtrend in place here for PBF. And this big list of stocks I think was just interesting here. So there's 100 names today that showed up on our gap up and basically rollover scan. So essentially what this looks for are stocks that are gapping up and then aren't able to hold their gap and just start to roll over, which could signal kind of short-term tops. And there is a lot of stocks in this list here today, which does maybe have some cause for concern for the market in the short term. But if I just scroll through some of these, you can see some of these are going to be more pronounced than others. But basically you have a gap up, very weak close, or at least a in the process of sort of selling off here, and all of these names here are a little bit suspect. And one thing I should mention is when we're scanning on bearish candidates here, we are not using our IBD TR150 universe because those are inherently the strong stocks. So we want to look at all stocks when we scan on the bearish side. This gives you a lot more of the weaker candidates out there as potential short ideas. So that's it. That is the roundup. That is the tour around some of the scans that we have, and hopefully you found this interesting. They are going to change on a week-to-week basis, so it's not always going to be the same scans, and I may sort of cut down the number of stocks here so these videos don't go too terribly long. But let me know what you think about the new format. And once again, check out the links there in the description of the video. We'll put the scans, we'll put IBD's link, we'll put our TR150 link. And if you want to learn more about any of what we talked about in today's video, you can take a look at the description of this video. So that's it. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks, as always, for tuning in and watching. Every Wednesday, we do trade ideas. Every Friday, we do our long-form market recap. And on Tuesdays, we do our midweek update. So that's it for me. I'll see you back here on Friday. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in a few days.